Greetings and welcome to another Pokemon 2019 or Pokemon Journeys anime episode review. This time I'm talking about the second episode of the Arceus the One Called a God Special Arc. So, let's get to it. The episode begins with an opening theme, which is surprising since the first episode did not have one. Probably because the first episode started with an introduction of the world of Pokemon instead. The opening theme used here is rather simple. The song is instrumental only and it's a classic Pokemon soundtrack. The visuals themselves are also simple and the opening is also shorter than normal. This opening does not really reveal much either. Only that Brock will appear in this arc, which is not really a surprise. It is funny though that in the opening Brock chases after Cynthia with flowers, until Krogunk stops Brock. This is just classic Brock, though in this situation, I can't really blame him. After seeing Cynthia in the last episode, I do want to chase after her with flowers. The opening also shows a brief glimpse of what Heatran will become in this episode. After the opening theme, we of course get to the actual episode. The episode begins for real, shortly after the end of the previous episode. Ash, Dawn, and Go are looking for the source of the disturbance that their Pokemon felt at the end of the last episode. Their search takes them to a mine in Oreburgh City. Soon after they arrive, Pikachu senses that something is wrong. And shortly after this, a massive screeching sound echoes from inside the mine. And said sound is so loud and powerful that it shakes everyone to their core, and they are forced to cover their ears. The side of the mountain then explodes, which reveals the source of the ear-wrenching sound. 5 Chingling who are battling a Bronzong. And all of them look like they are possessed by something, or they are enraged because of something. Also, all these Pokemon are based on something that emits sound, so it makes sense that a battle between them would generate an intense sound, especially when they are already rattled. The Chingling try to attack Bronzong, but they are all pushed back and knocked down. Bronzong then lands in front of them ready to continue fighting. Ash, Go, Pikachu, and Grookey try to calm them down by reasoning with them, but this does not work. So Dawn tells Piplup to use Whirlpool on the Chingling and Bronzong, who are pulled into the torrent of water, and it almost looks like they are in a giant washing machine. The Chingling and Bronzong finally calm down because of the Whirlpool. I love that Dawn says, "Bet that cold shower helped clear your heads." And I also love that Piplup is like, "Yeah, that's right," while striking a cool, confident pose. And it's also funny that Grookey claps for Piplup. Now, one of the Chingling ended up getting hurt. So, Ash, Dawn, Go, and their Pokemon approach the Chingling in order to help it. However, when they get close, they are transported to this strange dimension, and the Lake Guardians appear before them. Now, it's worth noting that Go uses his Pokédex on Azelf, Uxie, and Mesprit here. This is actually the first time that the Lake Guardians receive Pokédex entries in the anime, even though they first appeared in the anime back in the Diamond and Pearl series, where they played an important role. Go is amazed because he gets to meet legendary Pokemon from the Sinnoh region. And I love that Pikachu greets the Lake Guardians like, "Hey guys, long time no see." The Lake Guardians show Ash, Dawn, and Go a vision of the future, a vision of a sea of flames. Arceus then appears briefly, but it soon disappears alongside the Lake Guardians and the Vision of Flames. This returns Ash, Dawn, and Go and their Pokemon back to reality. Ash says that Arceus and the Lake Guardians were trying to tell them something. Dawn agrees with Ash, but Go is shocked instead, because Ash and Dawn are very calm even though they just encountered Arceus and the Lake Guardians. Ash says that he and Dawn worked with Azelf, Uxie, and Mesprit in the past in order to stop Dialga and Palkia. This surprises Go. I guess that it is understandable that Go reacts like this since he is still new to the whole help legendary and or mythical Pokemon save the world scenario. But he was there for the Darkest Day arc, and for what happened in episodes 89 and 90, meaning that he does have some experience in the area. Sure, he has significantly less experience in this field than Ash does, and even Dawn has more experience than Go when it comes to this, but I do think that at this point, Go should not be so surprised, considering what he has experienced thus far, which should be enough to ensure that he remains calm in moments like this. So Dawn picks up the injured Chinglin while saying that what they just saw must have been a message of some kind. She then says that they should go to the Pokemon Center. The episode then cuts to Team Galactic HQ, where Mars and Jupiter tell Saturn that the energy emanating from the plate is stable. So, Saturn announces to the entire Team Galactic that it is finally time to enact their plan. That they will get their leader Cyrus back, who is the king of the new world. We are then given a reminder of what Team Galactic is and of who Cyrus is. We also see a flashback of what happened to Cyrus back in the Diamond and Pearl series. However, it is interesting that this flashback shows that the portal to another world that Cyrus was in simply vanishes, while in the Diamond and Pearl series said portal was destroyed by Dialga and Palkia, which makes you wonder if this flashback is simply wrong or they are retconning what happened. Saturn goes on to say that their preparations are now complete thanks to Heatran. They can now open the space-time gate, which is the first step towards the creation of their new world. He finishes his speech by saying that the operation will begin at 1800 hours, which is 6 PM, and he tells everyone to get ready. The episode then cuts to the Pokemon Center in Oreburgh City. Here, Ash, Dawn, and Go watch a news report on TV while they wait for news on Chingling's condition. The news report says that all the Pokemon that have been acting strange reside near Mount Coronet, and that disturbances in the magnetic field of Mount Coronet have also been detected. It is believed that these two situations are linked. A doctor with a familiar voice then approaches Ash, Dawn, and Go in order to tell them that Chinglin is all better now. This doctor turns out to be none other than good old Brock, which surprises Ash and Dawn. Brock says that it's a small world since he can't believe that he ran into both Ash and Dawn here. I guess that Brock just happens to be here working as a doctor, or perhaps he is still working to become a doctor, and he is doing so by actually working in the field. Ash and Dawn then tell Brock about what happened with Arceus and the Lake Guardians. However, they talk fast, and at the same time, so Brock tells them to calm down, because he can't understand what they are saying. Go then takes this chance to stand between Ash and Dawn and Brock, so that he can introduce himself to Brock. Now this is classic Go. Most of the time when Ash runs into someone he knows and they start to talk to each other, Go always finds his chance to intervene, so that he can introduce himself. I guess that he does not like being left out, and he wants to make sure that he is part of the conversation. So Brock says that it is nice to meet Go, and he tells Go that he and Ash go way back. Go says that he knows a lot about Brock because of Ash. He mentions that Brock is a former gym leader and a Pokemon breeder who wants to be a doctor. Ash tells Brock that he is currently adventuring with Go. Ash then notices that Brock has a Blissey next to him, and he wonders if this Blissey belongs to Brock. Brock reveals that yes, this is his Blissey, his Chansey evolved, and she is now Brock's brilliant assistant. Krogunk then exits his Pokeball to show that he also helps Brock with his work. Dawn and Piplup greet Krogunk, who simply looks away. Ash then brings up the situation in Mount Coronet. Brock says that the magnetic field must be what confused Chinglin. Dawn then says that they should scope out Mount Coronet. Go agrees, saying that they need to figure out what's going on. Brock says that he will get them to Mount Coronet. So, everyone boards this flying ship that Brock has, that looks like something straight out of Speed Racer, and they all fly towards Mount Coronet. On the way to Mount Coronet, Go mentions that the ship is very fast, and Dawn says it'll be fine. I guess that she thinks that Go might be scared because of the speed. Brock says that he uses this ship to make house calls, that it handles like a dream, and that it comes in handy. Now imagine that you need a doctor, so you call for said doctor, and the doctor arrives flying in something like this. Boy, would that be funny and crazy. The episode then cuts to Team Galactic HQ. Saturn says it's time to begin the operation, so the Grunts power up a cannon that protrudes from the roof of the HQ, and it aims towards Mount Coronet. Said cannon also prepares to draw energy from the plate. The episode then cuts back to Ash and friends. Brock says that perhaps the message that Ash, Dawn, and Go received was not from the Lake Guardians, but from Arceus instead. This means that Brock was appraised of the situation off screen. Dawn then has an idea. She decides to call Cynthia to inform her of the situation because she might be able to help them. This is a smart idea since they will probably need the backup. And what better backup than the champion of Sinnoh? The episode then cuts back to Team Galactic HQ. Mars and Jupiter tell Saturn that the plate is ready to receive more energy. So, Saturn has Heatran use Magma Storm on the plate, which takes in all the energy. Said energy is fed into the cannon, which fires into the skies above Mount Coronet. The episode then cuts back to Ash and friends who notice the light emitted by the cannon. Go notices that the light is coming from the mountainside, so Ash tells Brock to take them there, and so they all head towards the light. The episode then cuts back to Team Galactic HQ. Jupiter says that their calculations were right. They are detecting a change in space-time, while Mars is excited because they will finally see Cyrus again. Saturn tells Heatran to feed more energy into the plate, which Heatran does. This makes the space-time gate bigger and it makes it more visible. Saturn tells Heatran to give the plate even more energy, which Heatran does. Jupiter says that Heatran should stop because it is putting too much strain on the system. But Mars says, don't try to stop us. The space-time gate is almost open. Saturn agrees with Mars. He says that they can't stop now because they are so close to their goal. However, Jupiter is proven right since the machine soon malfunctions and the energy flows backwards, which surprises Mars and Saturn. A surge of energy then hits Heatran, which launches Heatran towards the wall. This causes a massive explosion that destroys most of the headquarters, and it stops the cannon from firing further. Ash and friends notice that the beam has stopped. The Team Galactic commanders then emerge from the rubble and they look towards Heatran, who also emerges from the rubble. Heatran is soon surrounded by flames. Saturn wonders what's going on with Heatran, but Heatran starts to emanate fire and energy. Saturn tries to withdraw Heatran back into its dusk ball, but Heatran pushes Saturn back with a surge of energy. Saturn drops the dusk ball in the process and the dusk ball melts due to the intense heat. Jupiter tells everyone to retreat so the grunts run away, while Mars carries Saturn away, while wondering what happened and saying that they were so close. Heatran then eats the plate, which causes an explosion. When the smoke clears, Heatran emerges as a giant monster made entirely of flames, which is what was shown in the opening theme of the episode. The Team Galactic commanders once again emerge from the rubble. Saturn says that perhaps Heatran's ability, Flash Fire, got out of control, which does make sense since Flash Fire allows the Pokemon to power up when hit with fire. Since Heatran was hit with a massive amount of energy composed of flames, Heatran must have powered up a lot because of Flash Fire. But this surge of power is equivalent to the level of fire that Heatran was hit with, which was a lot. Heatran probably can't handle so much power, which is why it lost control of itself. And this new form is probably the result of Heatran channeling the excess energy. Saturn does say this very same thing that I just explained, albeit summarized, when Mars says that she wonders if a Pokemon ability can really do all of this. Heatran then fires a beam of light into the sky, just like the cannon did before, and Heatran fires this beam of light into the very same spot in the sky that the cannon did. Heatran then starts moving towards Mount Coronet, and it is revealed that the plate is still intact inside of Heatran. The Team Galactic commanders decided to follow Heatran, who leaves a trail of fiery destruction in its wake. Ash and friends soon notice Heatran and Go thus recognize that this is Heatran, and he wonders how Heatran turned into this. Dawn realizes that the fire that the Lake Guardian showed them before was Heatran. Heatran approaches Mount Coronet with the Team Galactic commanders in pursuit aboard a helicopter. I really do wonder how they got a helicopter considering that their HQ exploded. Twice. I guess they got lucky and the helicopter survived the explosion somehow. Mars wonders where Heatran is going, and Jupiter says that perhaps it's going to the Spear Pillar. Saturn is happy because of this and he says, good, keep going, open the space-time gate. However, his attention is soon taken away from Heatran when he spots Ash and friends who are flying nearby, heading in the same direction as them. Ash and friends catch up to Heatran. Dawn says that perhaps it is heading to the Spear Pillar. Go wonders what Heatran wants to do, and Dawn says that Team Galactic once summoned Dialga and Palkia at the Spear Pillar. So Ash wonders if Team Galactic is to blame for this as well, while Brock says that they should cut ahead of Heatran so that they can stop it. When they pass by Heatran, the heat proves to be unbearable, especially for Grookey who is weak to fire. They all manage to get in front of Heatran and they get ready to stop it. Go says that first, they should put out the flames. Dawn says that they should fight fire with water while looking at Piplup, who agrees with Dawn. Ash takes out a Pokeball, presumably Dracovish's Pokeball, and he says that they will hit Heatran with an all-out offense of Water-type Pokemon. However, Brock stops them saying that Heatran is too big, that a Pokemon battle is not the solution here, and that they need to formulate a plan. But they are all soon attacked by Saturn's Toxicroak. Now, I love that Brock's Croagunk immediately leaves its Pokeball so that it can attack Toxicroak. Croagunk has not forgotten the rivalry it had with Toxicroak in the Diamond and Pearl series. The Team Galactic commanders soon arrive, and Mars and Jupiter send out Purugly and Skuntank respectively. Ash wonders what Team Galactic is doing here, and Saturn angrily says that he did not think that he would see Ash and friends again. Brock is surprised to see Team Galactic because they were dismantled by the Sinnoh police. I love that Mars thanks Brock for his unnecessary and unwanted explanation of what happened to Team Galactic, while Jupiter says, but would you mind staying out of our way? Ash wonders if what happened to Heatran is Team Galactic's fault, while Go wonders what Team Galactic's aim is. But Saturn says that they have no obligation to answer them. Arceus soon feels the massive amount of energy emanating from the plate that Heatran is carrying inside of it. So Arceus sends the Lake Guardians to intercept Heatran. Saturn notices the Lake Guardians and he says that he won't let them foil their plan. Heatran then roars and it transforms once again. It goes from being made of flames to being made of magma. One final roar from Heatran cuts the screen to black, ending the episode. So overall, this was a great episode and a solid continuation of this arc. It was great to see Brock again, especially because he reunited with not only Ash, but also with Dawn. It's nice to see the entire Diamond and Pearl gang back together again, and in Sinnoh at that. It's also nice that we got to see Brock's progress. He is actively working in a Pokemon Center as a doctor. We learned that he now has a Blissey because his Chansey evolved. And that he owns this sweet flying ship. Heatran's transformation was very cool and quite impressive, and it made me wish that Heatran had such a transformation in the games, which could be a Gigantamax form or something like Primal Reversion. Or maybe an improved or modified Flash Fire ability. It is also cool that Arceus and the Lake Guardians are actively helping and seeking help, so that the crisis can be averted. Because it shows that they really do care about the region and its inhabitants. Which is fitting considering that Arceus is a god and that the Lake Guardians are the servants of a god. So overall, this really was a great episode, but I know that it was only set up for the next 2 episodes, which will surely be amazing. This takes me to my one gripe with this episode. The cliffhanger ending was just too painful. Just when Ash and friends are about to clash with Team Galactic, with a rampaging Heatran on the loose that had just transformed into something even more menacing, the episode ends, which left us hanging for a week, which was difficult to endure. But this does not detract from the episode. It was still great and I absolutely can't wait to see the next 2 episodes, which will conclude this awesome arc. But that's the video, as always. Leave your own thoughts down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and would like to see more like it, then please consider subscribing to my channel. I love Pokemon and I love making videos on both the anime and the games. Also, please consider clicking the links on screen so that you can check out more videos like this right away. Thank you very much for watching and let's meet again in the next video.